Okay, so question number one. We get these questions so often. The first one that we have is, do I need to make estimated tax payments? If you expect to owe more than $1,000 when it comes time to pay your taxes, then throughout that year, technically, you should need to make estimated payments. Now, this applies to people who are both maybe self-employed and there's no tax withholding. Maybe you have some capital gains from selling investments, and maybe you have some interest. You could have a 1099 miscellaneous or 1099 retirement account that did not withhold enough taxes. So again, if you expect to owe more than $1,000 come tax time, then yes, you should talk to one of us about making estimated tax payments.
And another great question that we hear very often is, do I need to keep my tax documents? And the answer is yes, up to 3 years from the date of filing. So if you take this year, for example, 2024, you want to hold on to your tax documents from 2023, 2022, and 2021.
If I put all of my assets in a revocable living trust, does that save me on taxes? And the quick answer to that is not really. A trust just dictates the titling of the account, not the taxation of that account. Another way to state this is there's really no way to get around paying taxes on a non-qualified account if you have gains, interest, dividends inside of that, and putting it inside of a revocable living trust doesn't really help you out.
What do I do if I can't get my taxes filed by April 15th? Which is a really great question. You can file an extension, so we will get your taxes filed in October, but that does not mean that we are extending your tax payment. So you want to make sure that you know what your tax payment will be, because you will still have to pay that in April, but we can go ahead and get your taxes filed in October.
What happens if you get a letter from the IRS? Well, first of all, the IRS only communicates generally via mail. So a phone call, a text, an email is probably not legitimate from the Internal Revenue Service. But if you do get a letter, most of the time, it's due to an innocent mistake. And oftentimes they will send tax form CP 2000 to you. And that is basically stating the information that they received does not match what's on your tax return. And we have to provide them an answer why. So really, if you do get something from the IRS, you need to send us a copy of it. We'll take a look at it, or send it to your tax preparer. They will take a look at it and see the proper way to respond. In most situations, it's not something to really be worried about unless there's a real big issue.